Hello, and welcome to my second video. Shout out to my subscriber, because I haven't told anyone about this channel yet. I'm just trying to get into the habit of posting stuff. I'll be splitting the process of this painting up into two parts while I talk about different topics. Anyway, the reference for this painting is off of Unsplash, which is a website, and there's also an app that has free images that you can use for personal or commercial projects. So bear with me as I get to the ugly stage of this as fast as possible, and I might even speed it up a bit. Yeah, that's better. I'll slow it back down again before I get too far. And I'm wondering if anybody can relate to this, being a slow artist. I just want to shout into the void a little bit about some of the issues that come with being a slow artist and some of the thoughts that I have surrounding that. I'm just processing things out loud while I try to make a go at doing art full time. But I'm a slow painter, I'm a slow artist, and there are often all of these roadblocks surrounding creating art, and now also with creating content. I'm trying to get into the habit of posting with some kind of regularity. I know that this is an issue for me, which is why this YouTube channel is a good example of something that I've been putting off doing for a long time. So I've always enjoyed making art. I went to art school, but I didn't end up getting an art job or start doing it full time when I graduated. When I graduated, I didn't think I was good enough, and honestly, I wasn't. And that's not just me being insecure. I didn't learn everything that I thought I was going to in college. And then they gave me a diploma, and I was kind of burned out, and I wanted a break, and I was already doing other things, and I had already found a job doing something else, and it came with a lot of great opportunities. Even though I wasn't painting or drawing during that time, I learned stuff and I met some great people along the way, and I still got to do creative things. And I'll get into that more in future videos. I don't want to get too far off course, but I've just been doing other stuff since college. And that's getting to be a while ago. So a couple years ago, I started painting and drawing again, and I like having a project, something that I can just sink a ton of time into, but my process is really slow. And on one hand, I like to hyper focus on something and pour hours and hours into it. But on the other hand, I'm not cranking out a bunch of original work with any kind of speed. And I still have a lot to learn and a lot of development to do to really dial in what my style is. And at best, I can do maybe 10 paintings in a year that I'll be happy with. I blame my glacially slow pace for the fact that I haven't tried to make a living through art. I've done some freelance illustration work, and I've sold a few paintings, and I've taken commissions, and it's word of mouth that I've gotten clients because I was kind of scared to put myself out there and then find out that I wouldn't be able to produce at a high enough level or with the speed required of a working artist. For the commissions I've done for people that have asked me to do pet portraits, I love painting animals, so I give them a really good deal, but then I'm slow as heck. So I end up making less than minimum wage selling originals. And then if you factor in the cost of materials and everything else, which I don't because I hoard art supplies like most artists can relate to, I would just think of it as an opportunity to use up some of the supplies that I already have on hand. So I don't even figure that into the price when I quote somebody. And since it takes me a long time, I keep people waiting a long time, and thankfully they've been understanding. But with my preferred medium being oil paint, that compounds the fact that I'm already slow as heck, and it can be several weeks before something is dry enough for me to give it to them. Another issue that I have is just access to time to paint. It's hard to find time to paint. And then on top of that, I injured myself, which I was probably painting about 15 hours a week, and I messed up my arm. I'm not sure if it was related to painting, but my arm got messed up to where sometimes it hurts to hold a paintbrush. And people talk about getting carpal tunnel and things like that from drawing too much, and I never thought that was something that would happen to me. If you draw a lot, look into good stretches and warm-ups to do so you don't hurt yourself, because it's a thing. And I recently took a solid 2 months off from painting and never fully recovered, so I just started painting again, and I guess that's just something that I have to live with. I'm not the first artist to suffer from pain from painting. Michelangelo wrote poetry about it when he was painting the Sistine Chapel, and here's an excerpt from a poem that he wrote on the matter. My haunches are grinding into my guts. My poor ass strains to work as a counterweight. Every gesture I make is blind and aimless. My skin hangs loose below me. My spine's all knotted from folding over itself. And I'm sure it was in Italian, but I bet he would have been hilarious if Twitter had existed during the Renaissance. So, I want to make art my full-time thing. And mathematically, I came up with, if I paint for 15 hours a week, that leaves plenty of time left over to work on marketing and making videos and a website and everything else. And as much as I would like to, I can't actually paint for 40 hours a week without wrecking myself. But literally all I want to do is quit my job and paint horses and unicorns and find out if there's a market for the kind of art that I want to make. And even if that seems frivolous and unrealistic, I still want to try. Does anybody remember that guy that painted the whales and the dolphins that were on the folders in the 90s? His name was Christian Reese Lawson, and I don't know if I'm saying that right. Flippin' loved those folders though, and apparently he was this surfer dude, and he was just painting what he loved, and he was able to find his audience. There wasn't any social media back then, and I just want to find my people. I want to make folders. Not really, but kinda, maybe. Also, those whale paintings must have taken him a long time, so I am not going to beat myself up too much about being slow. I think having 10 quality pieces at the end of a year is not that bad, but they don't teach you how to market yourself in art school. To be honest, most of the time they're not teaching you a whole lot that you couldn't learn online, but that's a whole different rant. A lot of people never went to art school and managed to figure out how to make art into their career. And if they can do it, so can I. So my plan is to see if I can implement some ideas that would work with my slow process to find an audience. I'm not hearing great stuff about Etsy these days, but I think that's still a place worth starting out to establish an online shop, and want to try some in-person markets this year, if I can find some local ones. And I just took a class that hopefully will help me get faster at painting. I'm really excited about that. I might talk about that in the future. Anyway, if you made it to this point, I think I've prattled on for long enough. I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye!
Non più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Antoncino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Antoncino d'amor. Non più avrai questi bei panacchini, quel cappello leggero galante, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante, quel vermiglio d'onesco color, quel vermiglio d'onesco color. Non più avrai quei pennacchini, quel cappello, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante. Non più drai farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girando, delle belle turbando a riposo, ma ci sei tu adugino d'amor. Delle belle turbando a riposo, ma ci sei tu adugino d'amor. Fra guerrieri può far bacco, gran bustacchi stretto sacco, schioppo in spalla, sciabla a fianco, collo dritto, muso franco, un gran casco, un gran turbante, molto onor, poco cantante, poco cantante, poco cantante. Ed invece del fandango una marcia per il fango, per montagne, per valloni, con le nevi e salioni, al concerto di tromboni, di bombarde e di cannoni, che le porre tutti i tuoni all'orecchio fan fischiar. Non più avrai quei pennacchini, non più avrai quel cappello, non più avrai quella chioma, non più avrai quell'aria brillante. Non più avrai farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girato, delle belle turbando a riposo, ma ci sei tu adugino d'amor. Delle belle turbando a riposo, ma ci sei tu adugino d'amor. Cherubino alla vittoria, alla gloria militar, cherubino alla vittoria, alla gloria militar, alla gloria militar, alla gloria militar.